or tested from embarking on a street protest. Despite this victory, there is a notice that was served them by the Ghana Police Service, which is expected to be heard at an Accra High Court on June 14, 2021. Legal argument from lawyers of the state and also the Fix the Country protesters will be heard on that day to determine whether or not they will be given the opportunity to embark on the said protest. Reporting for Metro News, I am Henry Kwesi Bedu.
Waste management giant Zoomlion Ghana Limited has commissioned 500 new technologically powered compact trucks and other waste collection equipment to aid our fight against filth. Speaking at the unveiling of the truck, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo commended Zoomlion Ghana for the several achievements in the waste sector and said government would continue to create an enabling environment to encourage more private sector players to come on board and fight against filth in the country.
These trucks are going to be used to cast waste from our business districts and communities to landfill sites and waste treatment facilities and help in the ongoing disinfection exercise of spaces and institutions that have been rolled out since the onset of COVID-19. It is a clear manifestation of the commitment of progressive elements in the private sector to work with government to deliver quality infrastructure, in this case, addressing the waste management situation in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, rapid population growth, with its consequent increase in human activities at the residential, commercial, and industrial levels, has meant that waste generation activities continue to be a challenge in the country. Currently, in total, we generate some 7,517,000 tons of waste. This situation, you would agree, presents enormous investment opportunities for which the private sector can take advantage. In creating business opportunities in the waste management space, I'm glad to state the government is collaborating with the Joyce Banda group of companies, of which Zoomlion is a part, to set up 16 state-of-the-art integrated recycling and composite plants in all the 16 regions of the country. The procurement of these 101 waste management trucks by Zoomlion Ghana Limited will augment the existing fleet of vehicles to improve waste collection and transportation in the country. These are the first batch of 500 trucks that are being procured to assist in the sector. I commend Zoomlion Ghana Limited, which has been at the forefront of waste management in the country, for the giant strides it has taken so far. I encourage the company to continue with its good work and help support government to make the country clean.
Trucks, which are technologically powered, is to improve Ghana's waste management. The executive chairman of the Joyce Banda Group, Dr. Joseph Sia Ejapon, commended President Akufo-Addo for his support in the waste management in the country.
The shortcutting and construction of integrated recycling and compost plant in all the 16 regions are ongoing as we speak now. 14 medical waste treatment plants, which was captured in Your Excellency, your State of the Nation address, the year 2021, has begun and is under construction. The short-cutting and commission of the thermal wastewater treatment plant, Your Excellency, as I speak now, feasibility studies have been completed and construction is yet to begin. This is a testimony and a confirmation of your works. Transport stations of Malam and Ashiaman is ongoing. At present, Your Excellency, Ghana can boast of 41 waste processing plants in this country, of which South Africa of which Nigeria and other big countries in Africa do not have it. Therefore, the west of Jamestown, that by the end of your term, Accra will become the cleanest city in Africa. This is west fulfillment, as Tony Robbins attested. 38 of the 41 treatment and processing plants were constructed under your tenure. 38 of them. Before you profess, we have about 5 plants. Now, 38 of them were done by you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I humbly want to crave the indulgence for us to applaud His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for his leadership and the fulfillment. I will humbly pause here and say that West has power to create or to destroy. As leaders and as citizens, we must look at the West that we use. When His Excellency made a statement, that bold statement at Jamestown, it was like a dream. Personally, I said, how can this be achieved? And when I sat down and looked at all these 38 plans, it became like in the Bible in John chapter 2 verse 19, when Jesus told the Jews, put this temple down and in 3 days, I'll build it up. The Jews said that it took 46 years for us to put this temple. But how can you do it? But Jesus did it by laying down his life and on the day they resurrect. West has power to transform. And let's all embrace the vision of the president, support him, and then say good words to encourage him, and we shall be there.
Now, Parliament is expected to roll out fresh measures to protect MPs from COVID-19. This comes after it was reported that a certain member of Parliament tested positive for COVID-19 over the weekend. Some members of his family have also tested positive, and they are all in quarantine. Now, I've been joined in the studio by my colleague Abdullah Mohammed, who will be telling us more about the issue. Abdullah, welcome to the studios.
Thank you very much, Ken.
So what new measures has been instituted to curb the spread of the virus?
So, Ken, basically the identity of this MP is yet to be known, but this was actually revealed to the press yesterday by the Member of Parliament for Asawase and who is also the Minority Chief Whip, Muntaka Mubarak, who actually said that an MP has indeed tested positive and he's been asked to self-isolate because of possible spread to other members of Parliament. But I must also say that this is not the first time an MP is testing positive in the House of Parliament. In February, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, had to suspend sittings for about 2 weeks when it came out that about 15 members of Parliament and about 100 or 56 parliamentary staff had, tested positive for the deadly coronavirus. Indeed, that prompted the leadership of the House to direct that all parliamentarians should submit themselves for a compulsory testing. And it later came out that some of them had indeed subsequently tested positive for the virus. I must also say that the COVID-19 vaccination, parliamentarians were not left out. Some of them took the first jab, but it's just coming out that some are actually yet to submit themselves for the second jab. So that's what is prompting Parliament's decision to review the COVID-19 enforcement restrictions within the presence of Parliament. So moving forward, we expect that the leadership would come out with some new measures to ensure that parliamentarians are protected against a further spread of this virus.
So what has been the reaction of other MPs as well?
Well, like I told you earlier, the identity of the MP is yet to be revealed. But I've spoken, with some of the MPs who have said that indeed they are not surprised because of what we saw happen, in Kumasi over the weekend, when, as a result of the funeral of the late Sir John, we saw a number of the parliamentarians trooping into the Ashanti region to honor, the legacy and memories of this departed Forestry Commission CEO, former Forestry Commission CEO. So, moving forward, we expect that the House with the guidance of the leadership, will strengthen the COVID-19 adherence protocols within the presence of Parliament, and possibly also restrict the number of people who are coming, to visit parliamentarians. And if the situation gets worse, maybe limit the number of times that the parliamentarians meet within the week. So that's what we expect moving forward. But our hope is that once this MP has self-isolated, we don't get further spread of the virus.
Okay, speaking about Sir John's funeral, the minority have expressed disappointment on that. Who has been speaking on this issue and what have been
All right, so this particular issue did not come before, the House today, but earlier in the morning I spoke to a member of the Health Committee of Parliament, Kobna Minta Kando, who is also the member of Parliament for Joabuso. He has expressed worry over what we saw happen, during the funeral of Sir John. And he has gone ahead to say that if given the opportunity, he's going to drum home the need for members of the executive and by extension the legislative house organ of government to adhere strictly to the same laws they sat within Parliament to form, and by extension, they actually barred people from, converging and demonstrating against what has famously become known as the Fix the Ghana, Fix the Country initiative. So I think that the issue is quite serious, and the leadership through the minority chief whip have said that they will take up the issue and also demand that an investigation is initiated into the circumstances that led to the gathering in Kumasi and the fact that people, including members of the executive, did not obey the COVID-19 protocols.
So grateful for your time for bringing us that update. That has been my colleague Abdullah Mohammed from Parliament. Now to other stories. Parliament's Appointment Committee has deferred the approval of Andrew Ejapa-Mensah as the Deputy Energy Minister due to some answers he gave during his vetting. Now tagging the answers as unfavorable, the committee has failed to point out the specific answers he gave which did not sit well with members of the committee. There's more in this desk report.
On Monday, June 7, 2021, the Parliamentary Select Committee vetted 4 deputy ministers designate, including Andrew Ejapa-Mensah. His approval as the Deputy Energy Minister was, however, suspended. According to the committee, this is due to some unfavorable answers he gave during his vetting. Earlier, the committee had approved 3 nominees who were vetted in Team Fojo, George Merekuduka and Tina Mensah as Deputy Education, Land and Natural Resources and Health Ministers respectively. Though unclear why his appointment has been suspended, the Member of Parliament during his vetting denied claims of conflict of interest against him in the PDS deal. The former Director and Secretary of TGN Energy Solution, one of the companies that formed PDS, said his role in the company did not affect his work as a Member of Parliament when the deal was brought to the House for consideration. He also added he was never found in a conflict of interest position. He explained that his understanding of interest, which is really a legal construct, is one that is in the nature of a property that is transferable, either tangible or intangible, but with respect to duty or relationship with TGN Energy Solution is in the nature of fiduciary, which is separate from interest.
Still in Parliament, a Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Defiamekwo, says cannabis production in Ghana should take a scientific approach rather than the economical perspective. According to Mr. Roxanne, Parliament held an earlier discussion and agreed to industrialize the growing of cannabis and not for individual use or personal use. He's therefore tasked the Interior Minister to do a community outreach to educate Ghanaians on the exact ways to roll out the plan. He said this on Metro TV's flagship program, Good Morning Ghana.
Mission is saying that since the passage of the law, which has transformed the board into a commission with extra powers, they have been inundated. People don't even understand that even the value, the content that is supposed to be found in the plants is as low as a 0.3 THC value. So it is not the normal marijuana cultivation that happens in the field. But people think that that is what is going to be legalized. So the ministry assured Parliament, and I was deep in the passage of this law. They assured Parliament that they will do community outreach. They will go out, engage the communities, and explain that the intention of government is to industrialize. So investors will come, set up companies. When you obtain the license and you produce, the company will come and purchase from you and go and process. You wouldn't have to process. Yours is to cultivate. The company will come like sugar cane. You cultivate, the sugar factory will come for the canes and go and process into sugar. That sort of thing. But it is not to allow persons to cultivate, create something on the farm, process, and sell legally on the streets. But that communal education and information outreach hasn't gone down.
Former President of Malawi, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, has established that there were female leaders in Africa before colonization. She believes women can take positions without being confrontational and antagonizing men, but rather through engagements. So far, Africa has witnessed just 6 women presidents. She made a statement on Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV.
Women around the world, I always say that we should not bash ourselves. We should be proud of what we've been able to achieve. But I think where we should start from is from the beginning, that we were leaders of our nations on the continent of Africa, even before colonization. And that we must not allow ourselves to forget. So when we ask for participation in leadership now, we're not coming from out of the blues. We are talking about what has happened in the past. The good news is I have a feeling that our men understand that. They understand that we are the majority. They also understand that we bring into this world the other half. But they also understand that we need to participate in leadership. And so I have told my colleagues around the world that the way we have achieved that is not by being confrontational, by antagonizing the same men that have to open space for us to sit at the table. We engage them, and we have succeeded in engaging them. So what I am talking about now is our own model of feminism, not yours, because at your age, and I know you will bash me for what I'm saying, but
No.
it is factual. I'm giving you a tip and what I feel has worked in Africa.
Your Excellency, do you think that there can be a meeting point of ideas between, or perspectives between the older generation of women and the younger generation of women that can lead or become a catalyst for change?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is important for us to keep, to build networks that are intergenerational in nature. That is why the African Women Leaders Network that we formed in 2017 with the help of UN Women and African Union has that approach. In fact, we have 2 committees, but all of us together as one organization, but a younger committee and an older committee. And when I sit and listen to the demands and to their expectations and to the aspirations of the younger women, they're sometimes different from what we had. And that's why it is very, very important for us to work together and to provide all the support that we can, as low as and go as far as we can, because some of the requests, some of the expectations of the younger women.
Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda also eulogized the late Prophet T.B. Joshua. According to her, he was a humble man of God who loves and supports the needy.
The connection between us, me and my husband, and him was his charity work. His work and his love, genuine love for the poor. His outreach work to those suffering around the world. And my prayer every single day has always been, God, give me an opportunity to do the same. So I've followed in his footsteps, in as far as caring for the poor is concerned. So I do my little bit here in Malawi, but he was my mentor. And I mean, I've been there several times. I don't know about times others have gone, but I don't remember him actually making a ceremony, asking people for money. Where you are sitting, there's an envelope in front of you. It's up to you. If you want to donate, you can donate. But if you also want to become a partner, you are impressed about his work, you could donate. If you've been watching his ceremonies, there are times when he would just block one day and just bring in people with disability and give them wheelchairs and give them scholarships. I mean, there are so many professionals in Nigeria who went to university through his generosity. Sometimes he would send his team out into the area to look for old people that have been abandoned by their relatives, wash them up, clean them up, buy them food, build their houses. Every Sunday at Synagogue of All Nations, you find that he fed widows. And yesterday, if you were watching the reaction of people there, people were crying outside, but most of those sitting outside there were the widows who came every Sunday for lunch. And after lunch, he would bring them back home, and then they would go back with bags of rice. Yeah, so he physically fed the souls of the people, but also physically looked after them.
Severe pollution of the Butre River by Galamsey activities has left residents with a brown-colored water for their daily use, including drinking. They say they have no alternative to this contaminated water. Metro News' Henry Kwesi Bedu visited some communities along the Butre River in the western region and has filed the following report.
The Butre River runs through the Ahanta West municipality as well as the Mpoho and the Wasa East district in the western region. The river is the major source of water for residents of Ewusejo, Freti, Otopo and other communities close by. Residents say the water was clean and clear before the river was taken over by Galamsey activities.
Base 85 years now coin potun etumu de okwansina oden sunu ya ho nembu won sunu okonsunu won de dam nampu no dam bubawu and that is na bibi basa etumu nunu sunu.
Women and children in this community use the river water for all their domestic work. Despite the pollution from mining and washing in the river, residents drink this water without any treatment. Food vendors around here also source their water from the polluted river. Comfort Person, who operates a small eatery, says she has no choice than to use the contaminated water to make food for sale.
Yes, I near the alarm, near the atu.
23-year-old Innocent Mochia is unemployed and lives with his parents here. He complains about side effects whenever he uses the water from the Butre River for bathing. He adds that he cannot afford to buy water.
Because one thing, it might be and now, Ghana had a Ghana and a Jumania. You must have widen.
Residents here are pleading with authorities to clamp down Galamsey activities soon in order to save their source of water, the Butre River.
The Galamsey people have polluted the water. Because of that, you can't use it to cook and bath. Sometimes when you bath, and our self is engineers, so you want the Galamsey people to stop doing that, so that you can use it to cook and bath.
Henry Kwesi Bedu, Metro News, Ewusejo.
The Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Nana Prempe Ajiman, has presented some relief items to members of the communities affected by tidal waves in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region. The NADMO boss also took time to assess the level of damage and what can be done to help the community. Our reporter, Christiana Ahodier, who has been following this story, was with the team and Father's Report, and it's read to you.
On Monday, June 7, 2021, the Parliamentary Select Committee vetted for On Monday, June 7, 2021, the Parliamentary Select Committee
We sincerely apologize for that technical hitch. Now to other stories. Concerned youth of MPP in the northern region have called on President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo not to accept the alleged manipulated list of vetted mayor aspirants of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. According to the youth group of the MPP, the shortlisted names of aspirants approved by the vetting committee was later changed by the northern regional executives and presented to the president for his consideration. Our northern regional correspondent Al-Hassan Dibaba filed this report, and it's read to you.
The NPP youth group, in a press conference organized in Tamale, stated that the regional executives are lobbying for their favorite to be appointed MMDCs so they can continue with some dubious deals they carried out during the first 4 years of the Nana Addo-led administration.
The NPP Northern Regional Executive, led by Chairman Samba, have replaced majority of MMDC's applicants' names.
Why that?
Which were selected by the region's MMDC's vetting committee with their preferred candidates. We are astonished that despite the effective and orderly manner with which the vetting committee did its work, the Northern Regional Executive still went ahead to form a cabal to manipulate the process in order to deceive the president and the vice president.
According to the group, the assembly members are aware of the...
And that'll be all for NEWSFLASH. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Good night.